This podcast is produced by the Harwood Productions Podcast Network. To learn more about the network and to find more of our shows, visit us online at www.harwoodpodcast.com.
To find out how you can help kickstart our latest show live from Base 6, visit our website and click on the Kickstarter icon. Hi, I'm Cindy Harris, and in this episode, I'm going to show you my Bistro-Style roast beef. What makes this recipe so unique is the cooking method. Many times when we have a roast, we just put it in an oven and we let it cook and it just dries it out and you don't get the flavor. Well, when you cook it Bistro-Style, you cook it hot and fast on the stove and then you finish it up in the oven. Now what I've gotten is about 3 pounds of beef, and these are actually 2 small roasts actually. These are ball tip, but you could go with tri-tip if you'd like. Obviously this is way bigger than a steak, but cooking it this way will keep it nice and tender. But you have to go ahead and get a paper towel, and you want to get as much of the moisture off the meat as you can. Now we got this meat from our butcher, and they had already marinated it for us. That's why it's that dark color. But I've done this with meat that's also not been marinated. It's fantastic, but you do have to dab it off with the paper towel really well, because when it hits that hot pan, if there's too much moisture, it's not going to make a good sear. So now that my meat is nicely dried, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to put a drizzle of olive oil on the meat, and I'm going to use my hands and just rub it on both sides. Just like this. You're not going to want to put oil in the pan because the pan needs to be really hot and the oil would start to burn. So we just want to put the oil right on the meat. And now I'm going to generously season the meat with some kosher salt and some black pepper. And I'm going to do both sides of the meat. Now I have my large saute pan on the stove, and I've got the heat up to medium high, and this pan is really hot. At the same time, I'm preheating my oven to 425 degrees. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the roast right in, and you can see that pan is really hot. That's exactly what I want. Now what's happening is the meat is searing right now, and so I don't want to move the meat for about a minute or two. Now this has just been about a minute and a half or so, and you can see I've already got nice color. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this over and let that go for about another 2 minutes. So as you can see, I've got some really good color on that second side. That's all we're going to do here. I'm going to turn the stove off, and I'm going to go ahead and put the pan and the meat right in the oven. And that's going to bake for about 15 minutes or so, and then I'm going to take its temperature. So here's our roast right out of the oven. Now I always make sure to put an oven mitt on this handle because it is really, really hot. Now we want to go ahead and take the temperature of the meat. So I'm using an instant read thermometer, and I want this to be, for medium rare, about 130 degrees. So this is 134, and this one is a little hotter, about 140. So these are fine, and I'm going to go ahead and let these sit in the pan for about 15 minutes. So it's time to go ahead and carve our meat. Now as the meat rests, like I said, for about 15 minutes, the temperature is going to continue to go up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on my carving board. See just how nice and juicy and well cooked this meat is. It's really a great method for cooking meat. Well, if you'd like to try this bistro-style roast beef at home, just go to our website and go to the Easy Entertaining show notes, and I'll have the recipe there for you. And as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email. I'll see you next time.